远古大陆群雄割据，四方势力战火不绝，一为勇气穿梭于丛林之间，一切障碍都被他视作为猎物。一为力量劈开了世间万物，巨剑出鞘是将世界破坏殆尽。一为智慧操纵着远古奥义，突破自身，迸发出耀世的光芒。一为坚韧，为囚禁了千百年，打破禁锢，只为复仇整个世界。群魔并起，鸟兽无名，王者相争，独霸天下。
Ready to work.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the playoffs day 2, quarterfinal 3 and 4. We have seen Moon and Lin rise to the top 4. Who will follow them? Infi versus Colorful, Foggy versus Lawliot.
Yesterday it was the day of the Koreans. It was 3 out of 4 Koreans that we had in there and 2 of them to advance. Only 2 Chinese are left now and only 1 will be left after today.
Yesterday was the day of the old schoolers, Lin, Fly and Moon, all over 31 years old. Today we have a few new schoolers here, or at least younger players. Colorful 24, Foggy 25, Lawliot 27, and one guy is standing against them, and that is the living legend Infi.
Yeah, absolutely. Having not only China's weight on his shoulders perhaps, but also the human weight. The only human left here we had 4 orcs, 4 Night Elves and 3 orcs. Moving into our next round, the main round, the playoffs. Here we have Snowkiss once again introducing the matches today to the audience. We will be starting with the Chinese Derby. Who will be making it out here? Yeah, as you said, the big name here has to be Infi, but Colorful, he has really surprised me and impressed me this year. He is, to me, certainly the breakout player of this year.
I totally agree. There's no one really who can follow that up. I mean, we're praising Chimiko for his micro, but he's not really there on the top level. And Colorful has proven in online tournaments, in the qualifiers, that he's there now, but also offline already. The next clan war, he was the hero of China, and China needs a hero in WGL Winter, because it could be the case that the streak is going to be broken. All 6 Gold League tournaments stayed here in China. But man, it's looking really, really rough for the motherland of Warcraft.
Yeah, absolutely. I don't know if they obviously don't set the best choices, the best chances, excuse me, especially because of how dominant Lin and especially Moon have been so far. It sounds to me like something's weird with the audio. I don't know if it's the same for you. Sorry about that. Yeah, we are going to be starting again with a Chinese duel here. For a lot of you returning viewers here that we haven't seen Warcraft in too long, I guess the World Championship, of course, is a big draw for many. Infi is looking like the bigger name, but it was a bit of controversy around him as well heading into this tournament. He was not playing human, he was switching it up, he was playing Night Elf, he was playing Orc, he was even playing Undead very rarely. And heading into this one he actually said, I'm not gonna play human at all. That didn't quite turn out to be the case.
Liar, liar, pants on fire, I guess. But yeah, he is the last hope for the humans. As you said, only Night Elves and Orcs here, Lin and Moon in the semifinals already. We start with the Chinese Derby, Night Elf versus Question Mark. In the previous WGL qualifier in October, the last one, these guys met and it was a Night Elf mirror and Infi playing off raids, defeating Colorful 2-0. Afterwards, of course, we're gonna have the battle of the fan favorites, Lawliot versus Foggy. I mean, our audience is mostly a Western audience cheering for Foggy. Obviously, the only Western player who made it into the playoffs, but Lawliot, we all know him from several interviews, from our Insta stories. This guy is such a character, very, very beloved in the Western community as well. A little unfortunate that these guys clash in the quarterfinals, but there can only be one.
Yeah, it's no secret that we both are very fond of these 2 players. Lawliot, though, he's also got something to prove, right? We keep on talking about Moon and Lin. You know, they are expected to be in the final. They're expected to have these great results, especially Moon, not able to deliver so far. But also Lawliot, like, What was actually his best result here at the Gold League?
At the Gold League, it was the 4th place last time, when he made it to the semifinals after defeating Moon in the quarters, but then lost to Fly in the semis, and then lost to Infi in the game for third. I mean, the game for third, we don't really know how serious they take it. I mean, it's a lot of prize money on the line, but you know, the semifinals were on the same day as the game for third. Maybe you're super disappointed and just think, all right, man, if I can't make it to the finals, whatever. So he has the chance to improve his best record here, his best performance ever, of course, WCA 2016. That's no big secret, but I guess we will talk about Lawlight and Foggy a little later and focus on Colorful versus Infi first. This is gonna be our first best of 5, and there's a little intermission where you have the chance to ask us questions. So prepare a little. We have like 30 minutes of talking. You can talk us. You can ask us anything about Warcraft 3 esports. How is it here in China? Who's like the team leagues, what's going on there? We have a lot of answers for you, and I hope it's going to be a fun talk in the break.
Yeah, focusing a little bit more on Infi and Colorful as our next game, of course. I wonder if there's going to be a little bit of a, if there was a little bit of a human boot camp. Of course, Infi and TH have been best friends and brothers in arms for so many years. TH surprisingly didn't make it out of the group, albeit it was a very tough group. So now, are they brooding plans together? Are they trying to work out the best, you know, opening, the best strategy against this ever so strong Keeper of the Grove?
We have seen TH practicing a lot with Fly as a Night Elf, so I can only imagine that yesterday he was practicing with Infi also as a Night Elf. What a cool practice partner TH is, right? He can play it all. I mean, same goes for Infi, and that's why the bond of Infi and TH is so strong, and that's why they were dominating the scene for such a long time. But there is an end to everything, and there is an end to the dominance of Infi and TH, but yeah, I can only imagine that yesterday was Infi and TH brother time together.
Yeah, I would think so too. And I mean, these two are two of the greatest players that we've ever had in the game, so they can...
TH and Infi, yeah.
They can come up with amazing strategies. Last GCS, it was called back then, our last World Championship, is the premier example for this. Those two guys were so incredibly strong, just seemed to be one step above everybody else. The only reason really it wasn't an Infi versus TH final was because they met earlier on in the bracket in the upper side, I think it was.
In the semi-final, TH was able to take out Infi.
Yeah.
Will he repeat his top 4 performance? Infi, one of the best Gold League players ever, has a title to his chest, but that is 3 years ago. In 2015, he was the first winner of this Gold League. Here we see the map statistics, and they show the results versus Human. Colorful 1-0 on Amazonia and 1-0 on Echo Isles. That is the result against Miko, if I'm not mistaken.
I think you're right.
Oh, Sock. Sorry, Sock it is. Infi versus Night Elf, pretty good record as well, but he didn't play Human in all of those games. So the statistics are a little crooked here on Infi's side. There we see Colorful. His first time ever to make it into playoffs. He defeated Danger 2-1, Fly 2-0, Sock 2-0, Soin 2-0, and was then defeated by Lucifer. That cost him a few points, but he's still the winner of Group B. Kind of a breakout performance for him after the next clan war, and here Infi representing the Rogue Warriors. Defeated Cash 2-1, but it was really close, was then squashed by Moon on stage. Really no chance in the matchup against Moon. Came back with the wins over Sonic, Shishi and PCG in that controversial Undead Mirror. And that is the trophy. That is what it's all about. The Frozen Throne. Here we see our 7 maps. Each player has 1 ban. Colorful bans Terrana Stand. Infi gets rid of Twisted.
No surprise there, I think. Terrana Stand, by no means bad for the Night Elf, but pretty much good for everybody against Night Elf because of early Shadow Priest and early Dispel for that reason. And Twisted Meadows, the new Twisted... Well, it's the same Twisted, actually. But the new humans really have issues with that militia duration and all. Whereas in the past... it used to be pretty good, but that really changed a lot as far as creep routes are concerned, especially on the big map TM, so no surprises with the vetoes, I'd say.
I agree. So, we load in to map 1, Concealed Hills. The newcomer, Colorful, versus the veteran, the former world champion, Infi. There is one clear favorite, and he's playing for the Rogue Warriors, but can this new Night Elf, the rising star of the Warcraft scene, can he surprise everyone?
So, I'm only gonna believe it once we're in game, because we've had some snafu with this before. What is he playing? We have
It's
Night Elf,
certainly not
of
Night Elves
course.
for Infi. We
That's
see it
true.
at the gold mine.
Oh, that's
also no
true.
undead.
Is it really Orc?
No, he goes
Okay.
back to the human race. TH was struggling with the humans. Sok and Chimiko didn't make it out of the group stage either, but Infi going back to his old love, the race that got him so many world championships. Of course, it is quite some time ago since Infi won his last premier tournament. As I said, GCS 2015, also his golden year of 2014, where he won WCA and WEC back-to-back, where he really was the number one Warcraft player. But as I said, quite some time ago. By the way, a little trivia here, historically. If Infi wins this quarterfinal, he surpasses Grubby in prize money, becoming the 4th most successful player of all time.
Oh, wow. Really etching his name into the history books with this one. Yeah, thinking back to 2014, 2015, when Infi was so dominant, that was when we actually started to go over to China to cast tournaments from here. And this really left a heavy impact with me. I can still remember his games. He looked so dominant. Back in the day, everybody was desperate about human. Nobody seemed to have an idea what to do, especially players like Nicker being so vocal about that. Those days have kind of changed, seeming to favor Night Elf more so nowadays, with exactly that hero right there, the star of 1.30, the keeper of the grove, backed up by early game aggression, or just early game strength, I should say. Not necessarily aggression, we also see a lot of Huntress or Archer openings with an expansion. Depends on what kind of player you are. Moon and especially Foggy seem to favor the economic style. Colorful though, we've seen a lot of one-base play for him, and a lot of love for the Mountain Giants.
That is true. We know that Colorful is very, very strong against Orcs. We mentioned this in the group stage over and over again, sounding like a broken record. But his weakest matchup is against Human. Only a kind of pathetic 44% win rate. That is so far below average. He's really struggling there. And in the Night Elf mirror, he's really strong against Orc, as I said, and against Undead. But Infi choosing the better matchup here, as it seems. The strongest Human versus Night Elf player in the world. TH had a little bit of a downfall here with a 61% win rate. But of course, a lot of that statistics are filled with patch 1.29 on 1.30. We don't really know about that. As I said, the only match in 1.30, Infi took it as a Night Elf 2-0. They had another match in the August race, and that was a normal one. Colorful defeated Infi there, but of course, different patch, different scenario.
Yeah, and I like that you mentioned here that Infi is so strong against Night Elf. This is what we've been seeing from him throughout the years. Now, of course, it is a different patch, but some things should still translate over. Think about Foggy. He doesn't really want to say it like that exactly, but I'm pretty sure this is his most feared opponent #1.
Yes.
Last GCS, he was just demolished by Infi. Thinking back to that best of 5.
Infi losing a militia here, or a militia here. Not the way it's supposed to be. Nice detonate. The Water Elemental is gone, so Infi lacking some damage here right now. And he is going back to the fast expansion, interestingly. Colorful teching, not going for a Huntress Hall, not going for mass Huntress, but rushing. As you said before, that seems to be his playstyle. But the human expansion kind of falling out of the meta.
Yep, absolutely.
Infi bringing it back.
Yeah, with early keeper aggression and hunts or archers, whatever you may want to have, can be so strong against early expos, especially on a map like this where the expansion is pretty hard to take. But I'm interpreting that as a read from Infi that he just knows, okay, this is colorful, he's not going to be aggressive early on, so I can afford the expansion. So this is, yeah, as you absolutely said, it has fallen out of the meta. This is pretty unusual to see nowadays.
I'm very sure that Infi saw the game of Lawlight versus Hawk because everyone is raving about it, the match of the group stage, and Hawk was going back to the expansion as well. Maybe that's a little sign that it is possible, and if you play great, then you can keep up with the Night Elf, but it's going to be a tough task because we saw the item drop for the Keeper of the Grove, who is level 3 already. Big mana potion, tons of entangle, tons of treants.
Yeah, and no dispel. This can be very problematic. I wonder what the skill point is. I think it's level 2 entangle. Last hit will not go towards him. Infi grabs it up, but footies, man, they're gonna be dying like flies here with these entangles coming in one by one. Infi needs to get up a big force or something, because the next couple of minutes are going to be scary.
He is at 34 supply. Footman is scouting, maybe delaying the shot, but another Footman falling. 2 entangles. Did he use the mana potion already? No. He is super low on mana now. If he wants to, he can go for more kills, but of course later on, if he needs treants in the fights, then maybe the big mana potion is more helpful. Here we see the first person of Infi.
There's one arcane up, so that's already pretty good. He can't dive with the treants too easily. Neither can the keeper, really, wanting to preserve his mana as much as he can, of course. But this is like pretty passive play, right? These archers aren't getting a lot done. Yes, he finds entangles, but that's the very least. He cancels the building up there. If that was a shop, that's a very nice cancel with only that single footy being across the map. And I must say, this keeper early game play isn't the most impressive yet, but now he's tier 2. And now the Alchemist is gonna join in any moment.
Yeah, pretty sure about that as well. Infi scouting the main, seeing the lures coming up. He's denying the Footman, so once again, no additional experience for the Keeper of the Grove, who is on level 3.5 for quite some time. Infi with the Dota skills, as we call them, for quite some time. Now the Scout Footman is gone, and man, Infi taking out the Dragon already. With 2 Water Elementals, quite a big mana investment. One dies. I don't know if that's possible anymore.
Yeah, I'm not so sure either. If he drags him out with 1 more Water Elemental, could be doable, but this is a pretty tough camp. We're gonna have to see. But now the Night Elf is moving across, and here's the Alchemist, of course. The dream team of 1.30. And he's gonna find him as well. Uh-oh. It's gonna be more kills. The strength of Entangle, everything you find in the early game as far as units go usually die, but he's going for the Archmage instead. And he has to TP here quick, otherwise he's gonna be super low HP. What's he waiting for?
He is super low. He must have a shop somewhere. I hope at the expansion. Colorful is pretty close to the second gold mine. Oh, power building it now. That costs a lot of resources. The army of Infi is certainly struggling. 2 Footmen low. He has only 4. Archmage super low. Close to 4 though. More Footmen coming in as the reinforcements. 0 experience on the Alchemist. Now the heal scroll, or the regen scroll. So much value. Tier 2 on the way as well. We don't see a second barracks yet. Also no blacksmith. And the dryads are coming. So Infi at the moment, only the water elementals as a measure against the tier 2 units of Colorful. But he needs more stuff, and that super quickly. Okay, the blacksmith is ready now.
Yeah, he's gonna have first guard tower back here. I like that he has the Archmage way in the back. Needs to be careful. I'm really surprised Infi's holding on here with only 1 guard tower. That is looking pretty bold indeed, but I guess at the moment he's not under too much pressure. In general, this keeper play to me is looking not as scary as we've seen it before sometimes.
Especially since we have seen not a single tree yet, right? It was all entangled so far.
Yeah. He still has that greater mana, so he can still make great use. And here are... Okay, was that a fake out? He showed double lures and now going into glaives.
Yeah, Vorpal Blades as well. Does he have a second Engine of War? No, right? It's just single AOW.
Yep, only that one.
Alchemist for Infi as well. Wants to heal up his stuff. For Colorful, it's certainly more about Acid Bomb. For the human, it is more about the healing. The AoE healing that you need. So, siege damage is coming. Vorpal Blades on the way. And then the Footmen, not the Footmen, the Passants will suffer a lot. Takes out the Dryad very early. Not too much to spell anymore for Colorful.
Yeah, this is not a very sturdy army. Like, again, where are the treants? Where are the huntresses or anything to block? He's just forcing these glaives away very easily. Where are the wisp for repair? Here they finally come.
With that a little too late, the Footmen are chasing, diving for those glaive throwers, but at the moment not a single kill, and that's going to be 2 for Infi on that side. Archmage gets the last hit, Water Elemental dies soon, there's a double level up, 4 and 2, but oh my god, he needs a heal wave so soon, otherwise the Footmen are all going to die.
And they absolutely are, there's no getting out of this for them alive, but the tech is finished here. We see Rifleman coming in, should soon be casters as well. And remember, the 1 glaive at least is down. He wants to get this one if he can. If it costs him a TP, this is probably worth it. He's gonna get it with the last hit and will have to TP out. So good of him, by the way, that he rebought that TP.
Yes, very expensive, but with the second gold mine, of course, he can afford it. And the big push is broken. He gets another Rifleman. Now the Treants are coming in. Finally, he needs some normal damage against the structures of Infi, because the piercing doesn't do anything to them. Wow, long range entangle. Infi has to deny again. So stressful to do that all the time. But you have to, otherwise the keeper is just running away in experience. Did he use the big mana now? Did you see that?
I'm not sure, actually. But to me, it seems like Colorful is kind of stuck on the bad tech now. He went for this almost all-in push strat, and his glaives were taken out. There's no tier 3 behind this. There's no counter expo behind this. He really has to make this work, like, within the next 2 minutes, it feels like.
Alchemist has 0 items. Keeper of the Grove has no mana potion anymore. The workshop is coming for mortar teams, but I don't know if that's gonna finish. He snipes these rifles like crazy, but how much mana does he still have? He's burning a little bit. Yeah, workshop is down, so no mortar teams, no real danger for the Dryads, and he can constantly dispel the water elementals now, basically for free, get them more experience, getting rid of the DPS of Infi, because that is his big damage at the moment, water elementals.
And here he is, the master of the water elementals, the Archmage here. Beautiful base, by the way. I love the little opening between the blacksmith and the shop. Hard to die for the AM if you would want to do that. Haven't seen an attempt like that just yet. Here come the glaives again. But the one Ancient of War only play is really making things difficult for him.
He can go into tier 3 and then go for Mountain Giants, so he has to put some pressure onto Infi, otherwise he's just gathering a big army of casters and mortar teams. Yeah. You have to disturb him somehow, and the only thing that you can go for right now is glaive throws. They're rather cheap, super long range, you just have to protect them. But you need more than one, that's for sure. I love the shop here, by the way, for the clarities on the keeper.
And now there's a big army as well for Colorful. OTP coming in with Militia probably to take these out once again. This is a pretty bold maneuver. Is his army big enough to force the Night Elf back here? Seems like it is. Whoa, actually that was pretty easily done. I thought these Dryads would be holding their ground in better fashion, but no, Infi. Smart tactical town portal right there.
Third town portal though, 1,000 gold gone into that one item, and he's super low on lumber. Could he really afford this militia call? He has 800 gold, 22 lumber, is on 52 supply. I don't know, man. Colorful stays at below 50, of course he has to. No counter expansion coming for him.
There's only one glaive left though. You should be able to repair against this. The Dryads of course won't be doing much. He is mass repairing. Keeping it alive is of course very expensive. That is for certain. But Infi, once he gets to like 70 supply rifle casters, this should be his game, but he has to spend so much money on his way there.
Almost no lumber anymore. 58 supply, though the next farm is kind of missing, so he's stuck on that one. Now Colorful is breaking upkeep as well. He gathered some gold. In the meantime, still no tier 3 though. He's going kind of the Moon approach with the lot of Dryads.
I was thinking the same. If Moon does it, many will try after him, but not everyone can do it. Nice spell. He has the adept training now for the priest as well. That is so important.
And the mortar teams. That is such an equalizer. Of course they have no attack upgrade right now because he couldn't afford it, especially lumber-wise. But now he has range as well. And the damage against Siege. Against the Dryads, I'm sorry. Siege as well.
And he's getting one gyro as well. That's going to be so nice. He can park him above the tree so he has vision from them. Really smart. And now he's moving out already. Is this perhaps a little overly ambitious from Infi? He doesn't have the massive army yet. The Alchemist is gonna survive here, but can't really re-engage into this battle. Dryads are starting to fall. There's a lot of damage against them, but also Infi losing himself, and the Alchemist just dies for Colorful.
Exactly. Level 2, no staff, no potion, nothing. The Dryads are falling like flies. Only now they're diving for the mortar teams. First one taking out level 5 of the Keeper of the Grove. The Spellbreakers are falling, but the damage has been done. And the control of Colorful with those Dryads, certainly not on Moon level. He spreads them now, but here comes the heal spray and almost saves one. He gets a good trade. And once the Dryads are gone, this Archmage can do wonders. GG! Infi taking map 1, defeating the Night Elf on Concealed Hills with, again, a counter expansion. Very unusual army composition on both sides, but just in the fights and in decision making, I think Infi was one level ahead of Colorful.
Such a strange game. Like, he's playing a strat that really shouldn't work, especially on this patch. Where was the error here from Colorful? Was he just too stuck with his opening? Was he unwilling to go for more aggression? I feel like you have to scout for this fast expo play, and if you see it happening, you run over right away. You don't care about level 2. You go there immediately. But Infi, realizing that possibility, I guess, that he's just going to be left alone until his expo is basically done. And then, of course, when you got all these gold coins coming in, yeah, you're going to lose a lot of stuff, you know, to get to your big tier 2 army. But Colorful, I don't know. That felt very underwhelming, is too big of a word, but that to me seemed like he didn't have the game plan laid out for what he needed to do in which situation.
我觉得我的小组赛的表现满分10分的话，我给自己打6分。这次小组赛对我来说印象最深刻的其实是对战开始时候的比赛。我上来是0比1落后，而且我对战他的时候，我一定要拿下才有可能小组出线。在对阵开始的时候，他比较针对我的开局，所以3盘前期我都比较被动，尤其是第3盘，我中间是死了双英雄，是5-3的一个双英雄，全部阵亡。当时我场面上没有英雄，但是我一直在跟他耗，慢慢磨，然后打退了他正在建造的商店也是比较关键，最后翻盘之后战胜他了之后打 Moon， 我对我的发挥不是很满意，最后在2比0赢了周77，惊险出现。我是 Infi， 来自 RW 俱乐部，在接下来的比赛，我尽力打得精彩，打得体面。
Unusual for him to only finish his group second, but in the playoffs, he really shows his strength. Killer Instinct by Infi, and yeah, man, Colorful has to earn his spores. It was kind of the theme of the tournament that unexperienced players are getting close to victories against the veterans, but in the end, there's just one tiny thing missing. This time the gap was a little bigger, but I can totally see that happening in the games to come. Now it's Colorful's map choice, so he should feel a little more comfortable.
Yeah, if we compare group stage performance to playoffs, by the way, of course this is only map 1. I don't want to get too ahead of myself. But Colorful looked better than what he showed just there, in my opinion, in the group stage, where he was looking really, really solid. We're going towards an older map now, Amazonia next. Outstanding Keeper of the Grove map. Has never been easy for human, even less so nowadays. Normally, when we're on a best of 3 setting, humans will veto this oftentimes. But we're in a best of 5. You only have 1 veto to go for. And he chose Twisted Meadows there earlier. This, Colorful must win this map. If he can't win here, honestly, it's looking pretty damn bleak for him. And here we go. In the top right, we have Infi spawning. Has to stick with human, of course, in case you're not familiar with how this format works. The race that you start with, you have to stick with throughout the entire best of 5. You can't switch in between. That would be pretty unfair.
Is this a bad sign for Infi now? Sounds super weird, but yesterday, Focus won the first map, out. Fly won the first map, out. Infi won the first map. What's going to happen here?
In the side cam here we see Cash with his beautiful hat.
It really is a beautiful hat. Ugri landed on the right. Europe, of course, representing 100 kg. For Ugrilainen, our biggest Western reporter that we have in the scene, most likely the last event. So thank you for 2 wonderful, wonderful years, my beloved Frenchman.
Absolutely. We'll be leaving a little bit early because it's his daughter's birthday. So he's a great father as well as a great reporter. Very, very nice. All right, let's focus on this game right here. What do we have? I imagine it's the Keeper of the Grove. The reason why this map is so good for Keeper is you have such an easy level 3 creep route here. It's so fast, you don't take any damage basically. You can juice up again with the Moonwell's full mana, move across, and then level 3 Keeper. We've all seen what he can do.
This is where it all started. In patch 1.29, it was Moon bringing in the Keeper, using the Entangle creep, using the Tree and Entangle combination for creeping for the first time, and everyone really picked up on that, especially with the changes of 1.30 when Night Elf's tier 1 got buffed a little bit. So, Lightning Shield, most important thing here is not to deny any creeps for Colorful. If he's a little nervous, this might happen, and then the Keeper might be stuck on level 1.8 or something. But usually this should never happen. Oh, second Lightning Shield against Dimension of War. It's not that big of a deal. For Infi, that would have been a lot worse. We've seen it at Masters Colosseum. This is where the Infi meme started, when he tapped out against 1-2-0 after 3 minutes.
Not gonna be happening here again, we hope. Yeah, Colorful pulled this creep off well, the way you're supposed to, with a great start with the Claws of Attack as well. Wisp Scout coming in, kind of at a weird timing. If he had been looking for an instant expansion, then for that he would have been too late. So especially as far as Wisp movement goes, I feel like Colorful could perhaps be doing a better job. What Moon and Foggy have shown us so far was really impeccable. Level 2 here for the two Archmage with the nuts. Perfect drops here with the claws and the mantle.
Infi's nickname at one point was "I need claws," of course, in Chinese. But yeah, he would be pretty happy with that. This is what I mean. This is what Moon invented. Luring out the Taskmaster, entangling, using the Treants to creep this, and then it's the super fast keeper, and the human can basically do nothing against it, rather focusing on himself, because he knows that the Night Elf is doing this, so he has some space to go for that creep spot and climb towards his level 3 as well. So this is something now that half a year ago we would have gone crazy about. Infi teching without an expansion stays on one base.
Yeah. But we've seen it more and more, as you were pointing towards here in the new patch. Rifles buffed help out a lot with this, and perhaps the bigger issue, militia duration reduced, and the effectiveness of defend as well makes holding on to an expansion a lot harder. This, yeah, as I said earlier, is a super hard expo map, so I don't blame Infi at all for not going for it. He's being aggressive now. He wants to be in the keeper's face before he's level 3. This is dangerous. You have to be careful because any footy that gets into range is basically dead. So with the AM and the water elemental only, he's trying to annoy him. He's trying to slow him down. The footies are in the back to threaten, but they don't really want to commit because as soon as they do, they're dead. And that's level 3 keeper.
Indeed. At the moment, though, only level 1 entangle. And Infi did great denies on map level 1, so if he continues to do that, maybe the keeper still has to wait a little more, but now he's starting the Murloc camp. Hunter's Hall in the back. Infi not able to cancel this one. Diving for the archers now. Oh, that deny.
That was such a big deal. That was level 3. And that was between all of the archer volleys. He gets the Murloc, though. That is now level 3 and going for the next footman, and that one is obviously dead. That's a third footy kill. That does hurt a little bit. I guess you could say in the end it's only Footman. He wants to go to Rifle Caster anyways, but the transition period, it's going to be harder the more Footman you lose.
Absolutely.
Oh, this AM inventory though, my goodness.
Plus 11 damage already.
He just bought a circlet, right?
Yep.
Blade Master style, okay.
No second barracks for Infi. Some Europeans have played this. We've seen it from Sok, I guess, as well. Chamiko. But no, Infi staying on one barracks, going into casters, and maybe even mortars later.
Yeah, first things he has to get, though, is the casters. He needs the priests, especially, for the heal to start with, and then for the so important dispel. And you really want to get level 4 AM as well. If you don't have the level 2 Brilliance Aura, it can be very hard to supply your casters with enough mana points. So I think it's a good idea, an approach here for Infi to try to get as many creeps under his belt as he can. But he's hemorrhaging Footman. He's lost 4 so far. Another entangle here will mean another kill, and so far all of the archers have survived. Well, scratch that. This one is gonna die. But that's another footy down. He is taking quite a few losses here.
For the second time, both players are going for the Alchemist as a second hero. We see the first acid bomb. 32 supply for Infi, going for the Archmage, trying to trigger this town portal once again, as he did on Concealed Hills, but Infi just running away.
Rifles coming in. Now losing those would hurt.
Ah, nice block.
And now he is forced into the TP.
Oh, sweet acid bomb again.
Gonna kill the frog. Poor frog. Alright. Positionally, there was also a pretty good TP with that. He can go towards the Merchant to creep right away. It's going to get him close to level 2 Alchemist here for Infi and level 4 AM. Still a little bit away, I think, on both these heroes. But these will be big level ups once he gets them.
Market Square, or not, Goblin Merchant for Infi now. Sasquatch gone. Item is Replenishment Potion.
Nice.
Hands it to the Archmage. Very nice. Saves him some time. It's not the biggest healing. It's not the biggest mana regen. But, you know, every single bit helps. That's colorful. It's being aggressive once again.
Scary. This could just be a dead Archmage. Entangle.
No TP.
Acid Bomb. I don't know how you're going to get out of this one, buddy. You won't! And whoa! He just lets him tick out. What a badass! It wasn't exactly intentional like that, but it looked pretty cool. Kind of walking away from an explosion right there, and well, that's a level 3 hero down. That's another rifleman down. And this is what games in this matchup, on this map, can oftentimes look like.
Yeah, Colorful was a little hesitant on map 1. Now he turns it all around, getting the kills with these Poison Ivy combination. Whoa, this acid bomb has so much damage onto everything, basically. Militia suffering, Footman suffering. Priests are coming in for the heal, but there's no Brilliance Aura, and the Keeper of the Grove is picking up more and more units.
No more mana, so for now at least, no more kills, but a quick trip back to the Moonwells is gonna possibly mean quite a few more of those juicy kills. Everything's low here for Colorful, but there's no catch, there's no nuke. There's nothing really too dangerous in Infi's army. Once he's assembled his 50 supply tier 2, it's pretty scary when it's standing there all, you know, gathered up. But the way to get there is always so difficult against the Keeper.
Yeah, Colorful is switching it up. It's not the tier 2 aggression, it is tier 3, and that can mostly only mean one thing. Mountain Giants on the way. Everyone thinks they're kind of ridiculous. They are the theme. They are the trend on 1.30 for a reason, because humans are struggling hard to kill them.
Yeah, MGs and Keeper, it really seems like is the thing at the moment. The Keeper everybody picked up on immediately. For MGs it took a little bit longer, but once people saw how tanky they can be, we've been seeing more and more of them.
Yeah, interestingly, Zhou Shishi was the first one really in Asia who brought them in. Usually not known as an innovator, but as far as we know this time, it was him.
Yeah, Colorful has surpassed Shishi quite a while ago as the best Night Elf in China, by the way. In case you guys haven't been following too closely the scene. It was Life for a long time, then Life went to inactivity, and then after a while it became Colorful, really breaking out this year. Interesting story here is, Life is, as it seems, coming back to the game. So the Night Elf crown in China may once again be up for grabs. Here we see a Creepjack coming in. Once again dangerous for Infi, but at least the Keeper's out of mana here. And it's dropping very low as well, by the way.
Long range heal spray, keeping this alive, but Entangled Roots again with the poison on him. This Archmage is in trouble, has the big healing on the Alchemist, but the heal spray seems to be enough. Okay, now on the Archmage to be able to save him. He has no TP, he can't get out of this position. There's no blockers calling Militia now, but the duration is already over.
Can he save this rifle? Nice dispel, and the riot damage is non-lethal, but the tick damage of the acid bomb is, so another one to the dust. And the rifles may fare well against the Dryads here as far as armor types and stuff goes, but the Dryads are so maneuverable, so if you're quick with a micro, you should be able to save them pretty well.
Interesting for Colorful that he doesn't build another Moonwell as far as we can see, so whenever he reaches tier 3 he can't go into Mountain Giants immediately, and he has to go for the upgrades, because without the upgrades Mountain Giants are not really useless, but so much weaker. This will cost him a lot of time. I mean, he wants, of course, to stay below 50, but the Moonwells could certainly be in production already. Little mistakes by Colorful, and you should never give Infi one little finger, because he grabs your entire arm and just rips it off.
Yeah, exactly. Finally, something is going Infi's way. He's finally getting time to creep. Reaches his level 4 AM. Is close to his level 3 Alchemist as well. And now he does have that 50 supply standing army. It's pretty strong right now with rifles and priests. Yes, Colorful can go for some sneaky pickoffs here and there. Run in with the Entangle, Focus Fire, Acid Bomb kind of stuff. But in a prolonged engagement, Infi should have the stronger army at the moment.
I kind of want to agree. Super well upgrade for more mana, which is absolutely necessary for a Mountain Giant play, because you need so much healing, especially if you use a staff.
Also for the Dryads, he was able to save a lot earlier with low HP. They don't have much health that you need to heal up, but they have mana as well, and especially as far as mana points go, Moonwells are, yeah, it's very expensive on the Moonwell mana to heal up those mana points on the units that you want to heal up. So I think, yeah, it's kind of go time for Mountain Giants right now, right? Colorful
He's breaking upkeep.
Yeah, he is in upkeep
and
right
that
now.
was 6 supply. Could be 2 Dryads or 1 MG. It is 1 MG. Saves the other lore, I guess, for the upgrades.
I think he should probably have it already, right? He was sitting at 50 for a long time, which is the perfect time for upgrades. I'm not sure, though. I would imagine he has it. Hardened Skin is gonna make that boy so tanky.
Ooh, this is gonna be a nasty creep check. Infi has a town portal, though.
He's got the vision advantage. Ultra vision, one of the big advantages in for Night Elf, especially in the late game. And he's looking for the move in. There should not be a TP here, most likely on the human side. And Tangle coming in.
On the Archmage, there's one. And a big healing and an invul, so he has a lot of consumables to work with.
And I don't think Colorful should look for a fight right now.
It's absolutely not the time. He has to wait for his Mountain Giants.
But if he gives up the map right now to his opponent, he's going to give Infi a lot of experience, getting closer somewhat to level 5 AM. Level 3 Alchemist has already achieved. Oh, and it's the one base tier 3 style again.
Indeed. Knights and Mortars with fragmentation shards most likely. Here come Colorful with the first Mountain Giant. First Dryad is falling though. Chemical Rage being used. Big Acid Bomb once more. Taunt, the super big ability of those Mountain Giants. Second time triggered. Infi has to micro against that. Goes onto the Alchemist. Acid Bomb on him. Can't reach though. Nice save by Colorful.
MG here is taking damage, but it's tickle damage. Thanks to his damage block ability.
Ooh, Subi Mask, sweet. On top of the Brilliance Aura, that is a lot of mana for the Alchemist and a lot of healing, which is exactly what you need because the fights will take forever in the super late game. And if you can cast your heal spray more often, that helps you a lot.
The dream scenario is where you have like 3 to 4 Mountain Giants in the front row and they take turns taunting. So there's always a taunt going off kind of. It's really hard to micro against. And the Dryads lay in the pain from the back. Nice staff there, saving one of those Dryads. But it's still only one MG. And now the Dryads are dying pretty damn fast to this Focus Fire. As you can see, they're already all kind of low. Big heal store coming in right there. Perfect usage from Colorful side. Both players take massive losses. No Militia coming in here to reinforce, to help. Seems like they've all been expended earlier already. Another rifle will fall, but also the Dryads here dying in quick succession. Colorful with a supply lead still, but now will be taking more losses. Unless he micros him back well, which he will. The tree is dispelled quickly. The Keeper now has to be careful as well. This Focus Fire not only dangerous against the Dryads, he himself, of course, not too tanky.
Looks like 1-for-1 trades between the Rifleman and the Dryads. Now Mortar teams come in. He gets one more rifle, but the Alchemist is all on his own. Kills the second one. Very confident second hero for Colorful right now, but I think seeing the Mortar team, he has to disengage. Second Mountain Giant up now. 4-4, close to 5-4 for Colorful. Same goes for Infi though. Will he switch to Blizzard or will he rely on the Water Elements? Of course, that is big experience. Oh, sweet surround by Infi. No getting out of there unless there's a staff, but I don't think he will get in range.
If he loses this, is a massive mistake, honestly. He just forgot about him for like a solid 20 seconds, and then he doesn't go back in time for the staff.
And he's level 4 now. That was a gift
I think
for sure.
I think that's the nerves. Like, how can you forget about this for 20 seconds? It's blinking on the minimap. This is, of course, one of the bigger games that Colorful has ever played. Whereas Infi, he's been here a million times, it feels like. And almost level 5 now as well.
7th Gold League for Infi. 6-time playoffs. Only one time he was eliminated. He made it 4 times into the top 4. This could be his 5th time. Pretty impressive track record for the Iceman.
Oh, Colorful coming in with a dangerous creep drag right now. The spells will have to be fast against this Entangle. Not fast enough to save this one Mortar team. The MGs are coming in, they're scary, but everything else is super low, by the way. And now even Inner Fire coming in. MGs great for tanking, not so great for the damage. Now they're going to be doing even less. But now level 5 for the Keeper as well. Can that change something? I'm not so sure because, of course, there is Dispel. And Infi, man, despite this horrid early game, is turning this game completely around.
Absolutely crushing Colorful in this fight. Getting more experience here as well. Rising up to a level close to 5 Alchemist if he gets this one entirely. And Tangle, again, he wants to take out the Rifleman again and again and again and again. Now he has 3 Mountain Giants. Taunts are going to be more powerful if he gets the 4th one. Wait, does he have Hardened Skin? It doesn't seem like it, actually.
He must.
He must, yeah, but it does, like, look at it. They are losing HP so quickly, and that's not a big human army.
Did he really forget about it?
Oh, Keeper taking so much damage as well. Acid Bomb. Is this enough damage to tick him down? The staff on him is on cooldown. Alchemist has nothing.
He doesn't have heal spray. He's got the Chemical Rage.
Yep.
Oh, dude.
So
Did
close.
he do the maths?
I think
Did
he
do the
miscalculated it. Town Portal now. And the debuff is over. So the Keeper stays alive, but on a Town Portal cost. And again, a Mountain Giant. He was so close to the 4th one. To the breaking point, to the critical mass. Now he has to invest so much gold again. And this one is at 3 HP. Survives 1 Rifleman shot.
Incredibly, Colorful is still ahead in supply, but don't let that fool you guys. This game is completely in Infi's court.
Yeah.
On the worst of the maps that we have remaining, by the way.
This is so impressive. Biggest item on the map, Claws plus 12. This Archmage is so pimped. With this, he is plus 25 damage. Colorful, he needs something very, very strong. I think since Infi is still on Water Elementals, a Brilliance Aura would be the dream for him. To have more mana to dispel.
Yeah, lots of great items here. especially the auras. That is not exactly one of those great items. Bit of cunning. Didn't get level 5 Alchemist here either. If he had solo crept him, perhaps. But he wanted to finish this camp before Infi arrived, and that he did. But Infi, how this game has turned around, isn't it crazy? In the first 5 minutes, he was just holding on for dear life, getting pummeled every which way.
That's his biggest strength, man. He has to be careful to not attack his own units with the mortar teams. Hawk did that a lot, also with Blizzard. But this is not a scary Night Elf army yet. 2-0 upgrades on the mortars as well. This is fairly easy to kill Moonweld and then keep Colorful supply stuck and go into 60+ supply himself.
Yeah, this is so nice about the mortar teams. You can pressure the base now really hard while still maintaining a pretty good position with the rest of your army.
Master Spell, haven't seen that so much in this one. Getting rid of the inner fire.
Right, he totally didn't utilize this yet, right?
Oh, that was big though.
Could have been a big help earlier. Level 5 now for the Alchemist, for Infi as well. And these Dryads, man, they have to dance. They can't stand still, otherwise they're immediately dead. And when they do this, maybe they don't die, but they also don't do damage. And MGs, we were talking about this earlier, they're not going to be your damage dealers. So how are you going to chew through this army here, Colorful? The heroes will have to do it.
Oh my god, the frag shards in the back, pulling him down to 2 Dryads, and that's the Water Elemental's time to shine if he has the mana for it. Really good engagement by Infi once again. Colorful is dropping so low in supply, trying to save this mortar team, but of course against combined right clicks and Entangle, not gonna work, not going to work.
And there's not even too many rifles here anymore, so not too much damage, but it doesn't matter. He's just out-sustaining. He's got so much mana regen, so much shield. Now Colorful's trying for the hero kill, but Infi ready with the invul. Not gonna work. You're not gonna get a cheap, easy hero kill and way back into this game from me, says Infi. And he seems to be in prime position. Oh, was that a mana flare right there?
I don't know. Maybe he wanted to see if the Mountain Giant survives or not, because that gets him very close to 6 with that 1 Dryad. GG! Not a final fight. Infi dominating as well in the later stages of Amazonia, the strongest keeper map, we mentioned it before, and now he has 3 match points in a row. Colorful, in his biggest game of his career properly, has to reverse sweep the Iceman.
He's under so much pressure. You can see the nerves in him, for real.
Yeah.
He doesn't know what the hell is going on. This is supposed to be my patch. How am I down 2 games, losing AZ after that early game? How does that work? I tell you how, when you play against Infi. He doesn't care how far behind he is. He's going to find that one way back into the game, and he's going to have a chance, no matter how far behind he is.
True that. We will say goodbye to 1 Night Elf, that's for sure, because Foggy and Lawlight will play each other in the second quarterfinal of the day. But yeah, losing 2 wouldn't be too impressive from the Sentinel side, but yeah.
小组赛的精彩发挥。
A new and rising star for Warcraft 3. Right on time for WGL Winter. He stepped it up. His great performance at Next, where he saved Team China from suffering a 2-0 defeat against Korea. And then in the Shenkui Cup, 3rd place as well, right after Moon and Foggy defeating Sonic there in the game for 3rd.
Yeah, and I was so hopeful for him, you know, being able to put it to the test on the big stage as well. He was able to do that in the group stage matches, having great performances there, amongst others playing on the stage. Really, yeah, showing up and showing off. I don't know what it is, but this is not the Colorful of the group stage. This is not the best Colorful that we've ever seen. You mentioned earlier, it's also not his best matchup, but I don't think that's the only thing that is to blame here for the first 2 games.
He had a lot of time to prepare for this. 3 days off, and yesterday it was not his play day as well. So basically 4 days off, plus he was in an early group, so he had 6 days. Of course, he didn't know his opponent until then. 3 match points for the world champion of 2014 and 15. Speaking of live before in the half of this map, he is wearing a Rogue Warrior jumpsuit as well, so most likely joining Infi, the guy with the match points. Colorful is under tons and tons of pressure. Can he at least get one map and start the comeback, or will it be a clean 3-0? We will see on Northern Isles.
Alright, we started on one of the new maps. It was Concealed Hill for our map number 1. And now we go towards the second new map, Northern Isles. We saw an instant expansion by Infi. So rare to see nowadays. Was already dangerous in the days of the Demon Hunter with your AM being stuck on level 1 or 2 forever, basically. But Colorful there played a passive game with the potentially strongest early game aggression hero against an early expansion. Colorful decided not to pressure right away. Can't help but feel that that was a big strategic mistake. Game number 2. He got a great start on Amazonia, as is to be expected from the Night Elf side, but wasn't able to close it out. We can compare this to the best game of the tournament so far that Lolide played against Hawk, starting on this map, by the way. Lolide did have MGs, did have Dryads, did have the Alchemist and the Keeper, obviously, but what did he also have? Bears. Bears with Roar for damage. And it feels like that was really lacking for Colorful. Yes, he had the tankiness, yes, he had the slow from the back, but as long as Infi was there with the dispels, it seemed just like there was no damage in the Night Elf army.
True, I agree. Also, it wasn't the greatest Dryad micro that, for example, Moon has shown,
Yeah,
so
true.
especially once the frag shards were there, these mortar teams were just destroying the Dryads.
Yep. And Wisp pulls, right?
Yeah.
How many times did Lolide bring in the Wisp
Yeah.
against Hawk?
Every engagement,
Yeah,
basically.
that's so important. The AoE mana burn is so powerful against groups of casters. And if you get rid of the Priest dispel, then suddenly Keeper is the king of the battlefield again. So I feel like Colorful, his stats against Night Elf, against Human, excuse me, they kind of make sense now.
Okay.
A player's
Infi, the champion of 2015, we mentioned it before. Until then, great performances. 4th place in spring 2016, for 2nd place in summer 2017, and last time the bronze medal for him, winning the 3rd place game against Lolide. Hawk was playing an expansion here. It seems like this is Infi's plan as well. Colorful sees it. Earlier than the expansion on CH. How will he adapt to this? Ooh, losing a lot of HP
hell?
already. He's tanking with the archers.
The footy! Oh my god.
Hero footy.
There's Moonwells though. Oh! He just got some really big eyes.
But you really don't want to use your Moonwell on archers. You want to use it on the Keeper of the Grove to replenish the mana.
The Ancient of War is full HP.
Yeah.
Colorful. This is like exactly the opposite way of how this is supposed to work.
Looking great for Infi right after 4 minutes.
And he's going for the instant expo again, isn't he? And again, Colorful's just like, yeah, I'm going to let you do what you want. You know, I'm going to be on my side of the map. I'm going to be creeping. I can forgive him for taking the first creep camp because you get level 2 from it right away, and that's super strong. One of mana ceiling, also not too bad. But this one, what is this? I can't help but feel that this is a massive tactical mistake. I guess he did not set up the expo. No, he did. Now he sees it. But now it's almost too late already.
Okay, this Murloc creep spot is fairly normal, I think, though. But he has to do something. Can he really afford to wait for level 3 before attacking this expansion?
He's just walking back and forth right now. He's clicking one side of the map, clicking the other side of the map. Yeah, I think this is again the nerves. This is looking very indecisive and far from optimal, if you ask me.
He's the least experienced player in the playoffs. He's the youngest player in the playoffs with only 24. And I think only his... he had 4 WGL participations, but always lost in the group stage, never on the big stage that we have here now. Against Fly, though, we really have not seen any nerfs on stage for him. Must be the playoffs, must be the big money. And yeah, Infi, 1 map away from surpassing Grubby in the 4th best earning Warcraft player of all time.
And yeah, the expo's up, the expo's mine, we're gonna have... And he's still creeping. I guess now you may as well creep to level 3. But you have a keeper with treants. You can creep bigger camps than the green camp into green camp. When you have 4 treants, 4 archers, you can just creep your expansion. That will give you level 3 and a big item, and you can, if you want, counter-expand. It's not like I'm inventing the wheel anew here. We've seen this plenty of times on this map. But okay, he's level 3 now, and he needs to get a lot of stuff done right now with his keeper.
Infi already has 6 footmen. A few of them are hurt, but doesn't matter too much, I guess. Everything is frost armored here, so not too good for the treants if Colorful should decide to creep there, but that would be very risky, and I don't think he's going to do that anyway. Tier 2 tech on the way, safety tower in the back, also a lumber mill for more lumber income. What are you laughing about?
It's unbelievable what's happening in this game. Infi insta-expanded against the keeper. And he hasn't even lost a peasant yet. It's not supposed to go this way.
Seems to be too easy. Shop is coming now, so he can heal up as well. He's now being aggressive himself. He says, okay, Colorful, if you don't want to fight, man, I'm sick and tired fighting the creeps the entire time, so let's go. And is this the nice tier 2 timing? I think tier 2 is done, right? Yeah. And he wants to build the lore, and Infi with the perfect timing once again. This will cost Colorful so much time. Time he doesn't have.
Gets the shop as well, so now mana region gonna be pretty limited. Gonna go for the wisps in the back as well. And still no lores coming up. Mass exodus from the wisps. The archers, they're just standing in the middle of the map. Look at the mini-map.
Alchemist as well.
Now they start moving. Are you serious, Colorful? I'm sorry, but this is he's just falling apart.
Yeah, that's true. Infi with all his routine, putting pressure onto him when he really doesn't need it at the beginning of tier 2. Once again, this weird glaive thrower play without the lores, really. And with only 1 engine of war, can this work? I mean, glaive thrower damage is really nice. Nice block. Oh, no, the block wasn't too nice. Infi getting out of there basically with ease. Has to use another entangle. Instant town portal. But now the trick is up. Infi knows about the glaive throwers. He knew how to react against it already on concealed hills. And this time, it looks way better for him than it was on the first map.
Yeah, it's unbelievable. He's tier 2 already, setting up his tier 2 buildings before his Expo's even getting attacked, going for a Panda second. The Breath of Fire really good against mechanical units. Works against everything the Breath of Fire does. Air, ground, mechanical, biological, buildings even, doesn't matter. So Panda has been nerfed quite a bit, but that still works. Going for the intercept here. We're gonna see it in a moment as we move towards the middle where the Panda and the footies are looking for the archers, looking for the glaive. He may lose a couple of footies here, but now, still, his Expo's safe.
It is really the first time we see a Panda on a stage match here at WGL Winter. And yeah, pretty nice indeed. There is already a lot of damage on these archers. Has to use more moon juice. It's turning night soonish, I guess.
He may lose quite a lot of stuff here with the footies way in the Night Elf base. But it's Footman at this point, right? He's tier 2. He's got his Sanctums and Rifles coming, so I guess he can afford to lose these footies. Or is this perhaps indeed an overextension? This Panda is dead for sure. Healing Potion is not going to be enough if this Keeper follows with the Entangle. But he's getting distracted by the footies in the back, which I guess is important to save this Glaive Thrower. Footies will be sacrificed, but Infi, again, has bought so much time for himself.
The Alchemist can't reach for the damage, and he loses the Glaive Thrower in the end. Has another one, but he wants more of them. You need a critical mass again, but Colorful. In not a single match for not a single unit, he was able to get that critical mass. Not the super mass Dryads that Moon played, not the mass Glaive Throwers that Foggy played, for example, not the mass Glaive Throwers, not the mass Mountain Giants that Lawliot had. Just nothing really works for him.
Nah, it's really tough. He's not being given many opportunities, and the ones he looks for, they just get slapped down by Infi, it seems like. Game 2 was not so easy, but other than that, Infi has seemed in complete control, throughout these 3 games.
Colorful has the experience advantage though, so if he can get more time for level 4-2 and then a Treant push, but really Treant pushes doesn't seem to be his thing. I haven't seen this once, neither harasses. I don't even know if Infi has an Arcane Tower at the expansion at the moment.
Alright, he's got some glaives here. He's got a ranged army here. Maybe it's gonna take a TP with Militia once again to fend this off. And maybe then you can look for a hero kill. Is it already so late into the game? Is he so far down that he has to hope for a hero kill? I wouldn't say that. Glaive throwers are still pretty damn amazing. Haven't been nerfed yet.
Oh, big mana potion for the Panda, always nice. But this Panda, in the last 2 games we have seen a good Alchemist with big heal sprays that saved a lot of units. This time, he doesn't have that at all. There's gonna be a little more mischance on only the archers, basically, with Drunken Haze. He might be going for Drunken Brawler, actually. But Infi is certainly missing that support that he had before. So if somehow Colorful can stall more time and get a bigger army and then force 1-2 fights, Infi might get in trouble. It's looking really good, obviously. Infi is with 1 leg in the semifinals. But there might still be a chance for Colorful in this map.
Yeah, I guess there's always a chance. But I think the longer you drag this out is not where you want to go. Especially if Colorful is stuck on tier 2. We haven't caught a glimpse of the main in a long time. If he goes into MGs, I guess maybe some magic is possible. But he's stuck on 50 for now. He spent his money for scrolls, I believe. Colorful was creeping quite a bit here in the middle of the map. Delaying the push towards an expansion. In general, when you do that, it's most of the time not a good idea. Here it is now, finally.
2 glaive throwers, 3 treants, but instant town portal by Infi. Good inventories as well. There should be a dispel against these treants soon, so then they're gone. Arcane Tower attacks the Alchemist, who's going full damage again, taking out the Mortar team. Good start for Colorful, who also has a heal scroll, but... Oh, second heal scroll already, right?
Yeah. Both of them used. That's the only 2 that he has. He has to win this fight, like, right now. It's not looking too bad, I guess. The range damage from the glaives is pretty damn good, and the splatter damage is coming in from both sides.
Oh, Alchemist! Dead. Has the Ankh. Can he surround him, though? He's not looking for it. Ooh, the splash. Ooh, the splash
The next
again!
breath.
Ouch!
Oh my god.
Ouch! Mass murder coming in. GG by Colorful. He's been swept out of the playoffs, and Infi is now the 4th successful Warcraft player of all time and represents the Human Alliance in the semi-finals. We have 1 Orc, 1 Night Elf, 1 Human, and of course a second Night Elf will follow, but humans are still alive thanks to Infi.
Unfortunate a little bit that Colorful really did crumble in these games, but let's not ignore Infi here. That was a masterful performance, especially game number 2, dude. That was absolutely insane. And game number 1 and 3, he says, I can still make the early expansion work. It was gifted to him, kind of, with no pressure going his way for a long time. But yeah, Infi keeping the human human hopes high. That's the way you say that. Colorful, it's been a good tournament for him overall. Top 8, not everybody would have expected this. There could have been more possible for him, but this is a lot of offline experience as well. Maybe, you know, people started talking to him, oh my god, you're one of the top Night Elves and you're gonna take human out easily anyways because it's so easy nowadays. Who knows what was going on in his mind. He can chalk this up as, you know, one of a lot of tournaments that he has already played, and this is one of the biggest ones, and decent success here. But if he, you know, I was hyping up so much in the group stage, talking, oh my god, perhaps he's going to be the next guy breaching into that tier 1 category. For that, he has to work on a couple of things.
Yeah, he's light and dark in his matchups, really has to work on that. But man, what if you compare Infi 5 or 6 days ago on the main stage against Night Elf, against Moon, where he was wiped off the map in 15-20 minutes? He had no chance. And now it's exactly the other way around. When it counts, Infi is prepared. When it counts, Infi is there. Abusing the nerves of Colorful there as well, obviously. It was a walk in the park for him. Absolutely. And now, holy shit, man, we have 3 out of the top 4 players of all time in the playoffs. Moon, Lin, and Infi.
Pretty sick. And by the way, Infi making it through means if Foggy should win, that's one of his biggest nemesis. Foggy is usually great against human, but for whatever reason, against Infi is always struggling. If he makes it, of course, it's going to be the Ukraine, represented by Foggy, or Korea. Lawliot here going to be going up against Foggy in the mirror matchup. That's going to be hype as well. Both these players so strong at the moment in that matchup as well. I think Foggy may disagree with that. Hopefully we're going to have a better match, a closer match coming up soon, but I'm pretty sure we will.
It's going to be pretty epic, guys. We're going to have a little intermission here with little raffles going on for the audience. at site, but we will have the time to talk to you guys. So if you have some questions, save them for after the break, and then we can talk a little about Warcraft 3, about Reforged, about the future of this beautiful game, about our future, maybe, we'll see. Thank you for a nice donation, Cake Biscuit, 10 euros for each human victory see today, hashtag save money. Dad Jack gifted a sub to my Narrow, I am yours, greetings my friend, and of course once again congratulations, thanks for the sub. And Dad Jack with another sub going to Honks to Tap King. Thank you for the support, guys. It's really appreciated. We are here basically not on our own cost, but you know, flight and hotel are paid, nothing else. So this helps a lot to keep this going. And of course, there's a lot more in store for you guys here at Back to Warcraft. If you want to support us, there is somewhere a sub badge there. You get replays, you get no ads on this channel, and support us on Twitch. It's also in the stream description, a link for donates with PayPal, credit cards, and cryptocurrency. Also our merchandise store, and Christmas is coming, so please use our Amazon referral link if you buy presents for your loved ones.
And as Neo said, we're going to give over to our Chinese friends here soon. They're going to have a bit of an intermission. If you want to have more coverage, more content, you can check out our YouTube, where we have quite a few interviews up already. Lawlight and Foggy both gave an interview that I did with them. And there's a little special video. Foggy actually sang a song for us.
Exactly.
Which I think is definitely worth checking out. It won't take too much time either.
And maybe the highlight of all of this, we have an interview with Lin, 9 minutes. With the Orc Chieftain, talking Warcraft 3, newbie, his life, everything basically that we can cover in 9 minutes. So check it out, youtube.com/backtowarcraft. Definitely worth it to cover this in the intermission that we have here.
Foggy versus Lolai, that's our next match coming up.
Yes.
After the intermission, again, we're going to have to wait a little bit. But that's going to be time for later, because we give over to our Chinese friends, and we'll see you after this very soon.